There is a specific kind of silence that only a mother knows. It isn't the quiet of an empty house after the kids have gone to school. That was a quiet you eventually learned to welcome. It isn't the peace of a job well done after a lifetime of labor. No. This silence is different. It is heavy, it is suffocating, it is the silence of a phone that does not ring. If you are watching this, you might be living with a heartbreak that is impossible to explain to your friends at the bridge club or the church group. They ask, "How are the kids?" And you have to smile and say, "Oh, they are busy." But the truth is a jagged stone in your chest. You might have a son or a daughter who has pulled away. Maybe the calls have become short, cold, and obligatory. Maybe they have stopped altogether. And the question that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling is simply, why? You look back at the decades of packed lunches, the sleepless nights nursing fevers, the holidays you orchestrated to be perfect, the sacrifices you made, giving up your career, your figure, and your sleep to ensure they had a better life than you did. You think, I gave them everything. I loved them with every fiber of my being. I was a good mother. How did we get here? You are not alone in the silence. It feels like a rejection of your very soul. It feels like a tragedy that has no name. But I want you to take a deep breath with me today. Because while this pain feels intensely personal, it is not solitary. You are part of a silent epidemic of senior mothers, good, loving, devoted mothers, who are navigating this exact terrain. Today, we are going to bridge the gap, but we are going to do it differently. We are not here to list your failures. We are here to validate your reality. We are going to look at this painful estrangement, to find understanding, yes, but also to honor the mother you were and still are. We will explore the stories of adult children, to decode their silence, not to blame you, but to translate a language you were never taught. And most importantly, we are going to talk about how you, the woman who poured herself out until she was empty, can find peace, forgiveness, and a return to yourself. Welcome back to Letters to Her Heart. If this is your first time here, know that this is a sanctuary, a place for deep reflection and healing. Today we are holding space for perhaps the most tender wound in a woman's life, estrangement from an adult child. To understand this, we have to look beyond the anger and the hurt. We have to look at the story with compassionate eyes. Compassion for them, yes, but primarily compassion for you. I want to introduce you to a woman we will call Patricia. Patricia is likely very similar to you. She is in her late 60s or early 70s. She is the kind of woman who knows how to stretch a dollar, how to soothe a scraped knee, and how to keep a family standing when the world falls apart. She has 2 adult children, a son named Sheldon and a daughter named Shannon. If you asked Patricia, she would tell you that her children were her magnum opus, her life's work. She defines herself by her motherhood because for her generation, that was the highest calling. She did not have the luxury of finding herself in her 20s. She had responsibilities, she had a duty. But today, Sheldon has not spoken to her in 3 years. And Shannon visits, but she is prickly, she is distant. She treats Patricia like an intrusive neighbor rather than the woman who gave her life. Patricia is left confused and devastated. She tells me, "I do not understand. I did not hit them. I did not drink. I was there every single day. I was a good mother. Why are they punishing me?" This is what we call the missing reason. It is the agonizing gap between your noble intent and their confusing reaction. In this journey, we are going to step into Sheldon and Shannon's shoes for a moment. But we are going to do this carefully. We are not doing this to say they are right and you are wrong. We are doing this to understand the cultural and generational language barrier that has risen up between you. We are going to explore the 2 main reasons adult children pull away, the validation gap and the burden of gratitude. We will see how your expressions of love are being lost in translation. And please, stay with me until the end because the most important part of this journey is not about chasing them down. It is about reclaiming the woman who existed before she was mom. It is about how to heal your own heart. Let us begin with Sheldon, the son who stopped calling. To understand why Sheldon is silent, we have to validate the world Patricia survived. Patricia was raised in an era where love was a verb, love was action, love was survival. In Patricia's generation, feelings were a luxury you could not always afford. You did not sit around analyzing your childhood. You got a job, you paid the bills, you put food on the table. Resilience was the highest virtue. If you fell down, you got up, you did not complain. So, when she raised Sheldon, she loved him the only way she knew how, by trying to make him strong. She wanted him to survive in a hard world. Imagine this scenario. Sheldon calls Patricia to share a struggle he is having at work. He feels overwhelmed and anxious. Patricia, her heart aching for him, wants to help him stand up. She says, "Well, Sheldon, you know life is tough. At least you have a job. Your father worked 2 jobs and never complained. You just need to toughen up a bit. Do not let them see you sweat. You can do this." To Patricia, this is profound love. She is giving him perspective. She is lending him her backbone. She is trying to armor him against a world she knows can be cruel. But Sheldon lives in a different emotional universe. He lives in a time where vulnerability is currency. A time where mental health is discussed openly. When he hears "toughen up," he does not hear his mother's encouragement. He hears, "Your feelings do not matter. You are weak. Stop bothering me." This is the first great tragedy, the validation gap. Sheldon is not pulling away because you were a bad mother. He is pulling away because there is a mismatch in your languages. You are speaking the language of resilience, and he is speaking the language of emotional validation. It is not that you failed him. It is that the rules of the game changed after you had already played your heart out. He feels unseen because when he shows you his wounds, you try to bandage them and send him back into the fight. He just wants you to kiss the wound, but you were taught that kissing wounds does not pay the mortgage. If you are a mother recognizing this dynamic, I want you to offer yourself immense grace right now. You were not cold. You were not unfeeling. You were loving him with the tools of survival that kept you alive. It is heartbreaking that these tools, which were so necessary for your generation, are interpreted as dismissive by his generation. You were trying to save him. He just wanted to be heard. The silence often comes because he thinks, "Mum does not get me," and rather than fight with you, he retreats. It is a protective mechanism for him, but it feels like a punishment to you. Now let us look at Shannon, the daughter. Her distance is often even more painful because the mother-daughter bond is primal. You might remember times when you were best friends, when you knew everything about her. But now Shannon seems to have built walls. She sets rules that feel hurtful and cold. "Mum, please call before you come over." "Mum, stop buying the kids so many clothes." "Mum, I do not need your advice on my marriage." Patricia feels stung. She thinks, "I sacrificed my entire life for her. I was there for every heartbreak, every fever. I gave up my dreams so she could have hers, and now she treats me like a nuisance?" Here is the hard truth that explains Shannon's behavior. And again, this is not your fault, but it is the reality of the modern dynamic, the burden of gratitude. For Patricia, her identity is wrapped up in being a mother. It is her purpose. So when she offers advice, drops by unannounced, or buys lavish gifts, she is expressing her love. She is saying, "I am still here, I am still your mother, I am still useful to you." But Shannon is trying to build her own identity as a woman and a mother in a very complex world. When Patricia intervenes, even with the purest kindness, Shannon does not hear love. She hears, "You are not doing it right. I know better. You are still a child." And then comes the guilt. This is the wedge that drives you apart. When Shannon pushes back, Patricia might say, and perhaps you have said this in a moment of hurt, "After all I did for you, you treat me like this?" We say this to remind them of our love, but the child hears it as a debt they can never repay. They feel like they are born into a contract they never signed. Shannon pulls away not because she does not love you. In fact, she might love you too much. She pulls away because she feels that as long as she is close to you, she has to be the pleaser. She feels the weight of your sacrifice, and it is too heavy for her to carry while she carries her own life. She is not rejecting you. She is trying to find out who she is when she is not the daughter of Patricia. Mothers, I know this feels unfair. You did sacrifice. You did give everything. And it hurts that this sacrifice is now viewed as pressure rather than a gift. But try to reframe it for your own peace of mind. Her boundaries are not walls to keep you out. They are the scaffolding she is using to build her own life. A life you gave her the strength to build. Ironically, her independence is proof that you did a good job. You raised a woman strong enough to stand on her own, even if that means standing a bit apart from you for a while. So, here we are. The silence has set in, and now you are left with the missing reasons. You might feel that they never really explained why, or maybe they did try to tell you, but their reasons sounded so petty, so critical, or so unfair that you could not really hear them without defending yourself. That is a natural human reaction. When someone attacks your motherhood, the thing you cherish most, the thing you gave your life for, of course you defend it. You explain, "I did that because I loved you." But in this strange modern dynamic, that defense is often what seals the silence. So what do you do now? You have called. You have apologized for things you do not even understand. You have sent the birthday cards with money in them, and still silence. The hardest thing to do and the most necessary thing for your own soul is to stop knocking on a locked door. There comes a moment where the pursuit of the relationship becomes more damaging to your dignity than the distance itself. If you keep calling, keep demanding an explanation, keep trying to fix it, you are unintentionally confirming their narrative that you cannot respect their boundaries. Sometimes the most loving thing a mother can do and the most painful thing is to respect the silence, to say to the universe, "I am here, I love you, my door is always unlocked, but I will stop banging on yours." This is not giving up on them. This is moving from a dynamic of chasing to a dynamic of waiting. It is an act of profound faith. It is saying, "I trust that the seeds of love I planted for 30 years are still there, buried deep, and they will sprout when they are ready." This brings us to the most important part of our time together. The part that is about you. Not you as a mother, but you as a divine, worthy woman. How do you find peace in the empty nest that feels too empty? You have spent 30, 40, maybe 50 years pouring your energy outward. Your vessel is empty because you gave it all away. The healing for you, dear mother, is not in getting them back. It is in getting yourself back. It is time to ask a question you may not have asked since 1975. Who are you when you are not mom? There is a concept called radical acceptance. It means looking at the reality, my child is not speaking to me right now, and refusing to let that reality destroy your inner peace. It means understanding that you cannot control their journey. You can only control your own garden, and your garden has been neglected while you were tending theirs. You have to forgive yourself. You have to look in the mirror and say, "I made mistakes. I had blind spots, but I loved fiercely. I did the best I could with the heavy load I carried. I am human, and I am enough." Perfection was never required of you, even though society told you it was. When you start to heal your own heart, when you start to fill your days with joy, that is not dependent on a phone call, a strange thing happens. The desperate energy fades. You become grounded. You become a woman who knows her worth. And often, not always, but often, that grounded, peaceful energy is safer for an adult child to return to. When they look back and see a mother who is whole, who is not needing them to validate her existence, they feel less pressure. They feel safer coming back to visit a woman who is happy rather than a mother who is waiting to be saved. But whether they come back next week, next year, or never, you deserve peace. You have earned your rest. You have earned your joy. You have completed the heavy lifting of raising them. Now it is time to raise yourself. The silence is painful, I know. It echoes in the hallways of your heart. But let it be a teacher. Let it teach you how to be your own best friend. If you are struggling to navigate this quiet season, if you are looking for a way to quiet the guilt and the racing thoughts that tell you you failed, I have written about this journey of inner stillness in my book, A Guide to a Peaceful Life. It is not a parenting book, it is a book for you. It is a companion for those days when the house feels too quiet, helping you find the sanctuary within yourself that no one can take away from you. You are more than just a mother. You are a woman with a soul, a history, a wisdom, and a future. Your story is not over just because they have walked off the stage for a moment. If this message touched your heart, please let us know in the comments. We are a community here. You are not invisible, you are seen, and you are valued. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You deserve it.